What's going on YouTube? Today I'm really excited to show you guys the brand new Eufy wall lighting camera in one. This has a built-in 2K camera, so it's perfect to record everything that's going on in your front yard, in my case my back deck, maybe even your driveway if you're lucky enough to have one. Here in New York City, I have an outdoor space and I kind of want to see what's going on outdoors, but I also want a little illumination for when I have a party, and this is the best product for it because let me show you why. The lights actually rotate so you can get that perfect illumination wherever you want to get it illuminated. So if you just want a little bit of ambient light as you have your party, this is going to be perfect for you. And they are independent of each other, so you can have one facing the wall for that ambient light, and you can have one facing the deck in my case, just to give myself a little bit of illumination. The LED brightness is 1200 lumens, so as you can see, we're in about direct sunlight at the moment. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and you can see the lights are shining right through. And of course you can turn them off, so right now they are off, and I think this is just a great product. There also is, because you have LEDs here, you also have different colors, and I'm going to show you the colors at night. It does have a built-in 2K camera, so you can see it right here. You have the camera, and the actual housing does rotate a little bit so you can get that perfect viewing angle. One thing about the Eufy light that I'd like to see with either a software update or maybe a new version is the ability to hang it up horizontally. At the moment, this is a vertical only type of light. Granted, you can flip it if you want to, but the video quality is going to be upside down, and that's just something you don't want. Plus the fact that the camera is actually angled a little bit. So you can see that camera is angled, and if you rotate it horizontally, it looks like it's going to face up into the sky. So I don't think that's something you could do with this light at the moment. But I definitely like all of the features, and I have it mounted here against an electrical box. Installation is really simple, guys. I've installed the base onto my electrical box. Very, very easy. You have screws all over the inner portion of this plate here that's going to line up with just about every electrical box out there. Pay attention to the up and the down. This is going to ensure that your light is going to be installed the proper way. Now, I personally don't have a ground wire. That's really not going to be a big deal because my electrical system is grounded. So at this particular outdoor box, it is not separately grounded. And I do have my two live wires connected with these connectors here. So again, it's a very, very easy installation. The only thing we have to do is line it up just like this. The only trouble I had was with these little screws on the side here. Connecting metal to plastic, sometimes the plastic does bend, so I'd like to see a metal base. Now I know metal's a little bit more expensive, but that's just my thoughts on this. I think it's gonna look really cool at night, so I can't wait for the sun to go down to test this out. Now that's a little bit darker, we can see the lights, and again, this is a 1200 lumen brightness, so it gets really, really bright. This setting right now is only about 25%, and it's gonna be the 50% brightness level. And then if we put it all the way up to 100 brightness, this is what it is. So again, super, super bright. We do have different color tones, so we can cycle through and show you the different color tones available. And what I like about the Eufy Cam, we can have a little bit of an ambient light situation. Just for example, I'm going to turn one to be ambient and one so that you guys can see it, just so you get a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. What I also really like about this is we have dynamic lighting, so it's really going to set the mood if you have a party or you just want to display a little bit something different on your driveway. So you get a little bit of a light show, that I call it, and it's just going to cycle through the different colors that you have available, and you can even create your own dynamic lighting scheme if that's something that you want to pay attention to. You also do have motion activated lighting, so if anyone steps in front of the motion sensor, it's going to increase the brightness tremendously, and this way you'll be able to see who's in your driveway, and it's also going to let that person know that, hey, you're being recorded, I noticed you, and everything is being caught on this 2K camera. So that's why I really like this Eufy Cam, because everything that you need, whether you're using it as an ambient light situation like I am, or whether you're using it for a security light, Eufy has you covered. That 2K camera with motion detection is going to catch everything that crosses its path. And I think that's a good thing, especially when it comes to security these days. It's always good to have your own security. What I like about the Eufy Cam again is there's no monthly fee, there's no type of fee whatsoever. The Eufy Cam comes with 4 gigabytes of onboard storage, so enough for most people to capture what they need to capture throughout the nights. And it also will be compatible with the Homebase 3, which has expandable storage, and that's supposed to be coming in the next month or so. This way you can store just as much as you need. Basically, you can store enough for months and months and months. But with my testing, I've found that the 4 gigabytes does a really good job for a couple days of motion detection, if you will. Again, it all depends on what passes through your sensor. It all depends on how much traffic you have, and it depends on the area that you want to monitor. If you just want to monitor a small area, you're going to get more recordings than if you monitor your whole sidewalk, which is going to capture everybody that walks through it. So again, it is very configurable, and that's what I always like about Eufy products. There's no monthly fee, there's no hidden fee, and they do care about your privacy. Everything is encrypted on board. Opening up the Eufy application, this is where you'll be able to see all of your Eufy products in one. So if you have a Eufy Security Home, this is what it's going to look like. You can easily access all of your camera feeds right from one place. But clicking on the deck cam, this is where you'll see a live view of what's happening from that wall light camera. And thanks to the 2K quality, once again, you can zoom in and you can have a little bit of a look around if that's what you want to do at the moment. And now on the bottom, you'll find some quick toggles as well, so you can quickly turn on or off those spotlights if you need to. You also have a couple other quick toggles to easily record, take a snapshot, speak to the person on the other end, because thanks to a microphone and speaker system, you can have a conversation. So if you put this on your front door and you want to talk to a delivery person, this is the way that you're going to have to do it. So just click on that microphone and have a little bit of a conversation. If you don't like what they're saying, quickly access the alarm and sound the light, or sound the light and sound together. So it's a very easily navigatable application, and that's what I like about Eufy products as well. If you'd like just to take a look at your live feed and you don't necessarily want to hear all of the sound around you, you can turn off the sound just by clicking on that little speaker icon. Now to go back and check any events that happened, click on the event toggle on the bottom. So this morning at about 6:18, I had a little bit of a motion. Let's click on it and see what was going on. And again, you'll see it is being decrypted from the local storage. So this happens to be my cat who's roaming around, and the Eufy Cam caught him kind of doing his thing, checking out the garden. If I want to download it, I can quickly download to my phone storage, or I can click on that share icon and share it to social media or share it to anybody that I want to. But going back to my live feed for the deck cam here, I want to show you just a few more settings, and basically it's a very easy application. Auto night vision toggles right at the bottom as well. Clicking on the settings icon at the top there's only a couple settings that I want to show you. Number one, you do have motion detection built into this because it is a security cam. It's not just an ambient cam light that I'm using it for. So you have motion detection, and you can select the zone. So if you wanted to go ahead and select only a specific zone where you want this camera to monitor, this is where you're going to set that setting. And you also do have different sensitivity levels as well. So you can change the sensitivity to get a little bit less of those false recordings. Now, thanks to having AI in here as well, you can detect different types of motion. So if you only wanted to record human activity, you can set that setting at the bottom there. If you want to set other recordings, like such as my cat walking around, you can click on all other motions. And the great thing about it is, number one, you can enable or disable push notifications for either one of those motion detections. Now under light setting, this is where people are probably going to spend the most amount of time. And at the top, here's your slider for the different brightness levels. Now for that day lighting that I showed you earlier on in the video, you do have a couple different options. So you can choose which color you'd like for your day lighting. And for the activity lighting as well, you have all of these nice colors right at the bottom. For those of you throwing a party or just want to illuminate things a little bit differently at night, you also have dynamic lighting, but you can also choose which 5 colors you want for that dynamic lighting. So that's something super, super cool in my opinion. Another thing that I want to bring to your attention, you do have a dusk till dawn setting, perfect for that security light on your front porch there. And you can also add a schedule. So if you want it to go on from a certain time to a certain time on certain days, you can set up your lighting schedule right at the bottom. And the same goes for the motion activated lighting. You can choose a different color for when motion is detected. I think that's something really cool as well. And for the timer, you can set a different time length. So if you want the light to stay on for say 15 minutes after motion is detected, this is where you're going to have to set it. I usually like to leave mine on about 60 seconds, but again, everything's customizable. That's what I like about Eufy products there. Under video settings, there's only a couple settings that I want to bring to your attention. Number one is privacy zone. And I like this feature because it just means that if you don't want to record your neighbors, if you live in a suburban area where everyone's closely packed together and you don't want to record your neighbor walking around in their robe picking up the morning paper like The Sopranos, you can go ahead and set that privacy zone so the camera is not going to detect or record anything within that private zone. So again, I think that's a great feature, and I'm really happy Eufy thought of it. I think it's really good for that neighborhood setting. It's really good for those that don't want to annoy their neighbors by recording them picking up their paper. And you also do have different options for live streaming. Just leave it on auto, so depending on your connection, it's going to automatically adjust that video feed. And for the recording quality, 2K or 1080 is how you can set those recordings. And that's basically it, guys. I mean, everything is really simple when it comes to this Eufy camera and light in one. I think this is a great product. I've been very happy with it. But if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in another video.